Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. I used a lot of fancy tricks and stylistic elements in this design, so it is a little harder to read, especially this middle word here, than most typical stuff done in Loren Sherman's script. With that being said, let's go ahead and get to it. So this script is typically read starting at the bottom and then going counterclockwise, like a time traveler going back in time. And that is true for the words, the letters inside the word, as well as the words inside a sentence, which this is the closest thing to a sentence here because it's the word allons-y. So you read the allons, then the hyphen, then the e. Anyway, and then our last word is fantastic. So anyway, let's go ahead and read our first word here. The bottom is right here, and that means our first letter is this deep divot shape. And this shape matches this shape here. It's a divot taken out of the word circle. And that means our letter's going to be in this row. So, in this row, we have a bunch of different letters that have different modifiers. A B has no modifiers. This is like a B right here. As soon as we have dots next to it, it becomes these guys. And if we have lines ending on it, it becomes these guys. And because this has one line ending on it right here, this thick line, it turns it into the letter G. So our first letter is a G. So G, and then we have an E hanging out right in the middle of that G. So vowels are these smaller circles, and they can be attached onto the different consonants. So an E is right in the middle here, and we can figure out that that's named by following it down to the E. That gray one in the center is an E. And then our next letter in this word is this shallow divot, like a bite out of a cookie. So this is 180 degrees or less completed of a circle, whereas this is more than 180 degrees complete and starts to kind of curve back in on itself like an omega. And there's another vowel on it. So we're going to look at this stem, and our vowel is attached to it like a bead on a string, like this brown one here. And if we follow that down, that makes it an O. And then we have our next letters. And this is a circle inside the word circle. So it's a completed circle, like this, and there is one line on it, just like the G, that makes it an N here. This line that passes through it does not count. This line is part of the vowel. And vowels with lines are I's and U's, and I has a line going inwards towards the center of the word circle. And this does indeed go in towards the middle. So this is the letter I. And then we have our last set of letters here. It's another complete circle inside the word circle, because again, here's our word circle. And there's 1, 2, 3 lines ending on it. So that makes it an M. And then, like a bead on a string, here's the O. So there's Geronimo. And then 3 dots by the sentence circle is an exclamation point. So we have a couple exclamation points here. So here's the word circle, here's the sentence circle, this is the exclamation point. Here are the word circles, and this thick one is the sentence circle, and here's the exclamation point, 1, 2, 3 dots. And here is the word circle. This is actually just the line modifiers, same as this, like here's the M line coming up around here, and this is part of the F here on Fantastic. But anyway, this is the sentence circle, and here's 1, 2, 3 dots at the end of the word, making it an exclamation point. So yeah, these 3 sets of 3 dots are the exclamation points in each of the words. Okay, so that was Geronimo, and now we have the tricky one. So, it all makes a lot more sense if you see that these ovals are the same thing as these circles. And if we all just like twisted them sideways, it would all be fine, and you'd read it just like normal. So yeah, it's just kind of twisted. So here we have the bottom of the word circle, and we have these consonants and vowels attached to each other. Now typically, you would read the vowel after the consonant, but drawing a line across a vowel moves its position to before the prior letter. This can be used to insert a vowel in between letters of a multiple letter consonant or several stacked consonants. ... Allowing multiple lines can shift it multiple times, allowing multiple vowels to be attached to one consonant. So this has 1, 2 lines, which means it goes in front of 1, 2, both of these letter circles. So there's 1, 2 letters here, because there's 2 lines, and they're both a circle inside the word circle stem, and they're the same thickness, so it's the same letter twice. And there's 1, 2, 3 dots by it. So that makes it a double L. So we have the A and then the double L. Normally it'd be a double L-A, but the A gets shifted once, twice. So A double L. Then we have the O, Then we have this circle inside the word circle with one line. That's an N, just like this N. And then we have this shallow divot, like a bite out of a cookie. 1, 2, 3 lines attached to that, making that an S. So ALLONS. And then our next word circle continuing around starts with a hyphen, which is a triple line instead of a triple dot. I don't have punctuation shown here. It's on Loren's full guide on shermansplanet.com. Gallifreyan guide, how to write in Gallifreyan. Anyway, so this is a hyphen. And then our last letter is a circle on the line of a word circle with 1, 2 dots, making it a Y. So there's the E. So Allons-y is here. And this hexagon is just decoration and kind of part of the sentence circle. There is no letter that is a hexagon unless you make them all hexagons. I guess that would work. But yeah, there's Allons-y. And then our last word here starts here. This, we have a deep divot with 1, 2, 3 lines. It's important that this line ends on the N, not on the F, because then the F would have 4 lines and the N would have no lines. And the N needs 1 line and the F needs 3 lines. And then we have an A outside the word circle. And then we have an N, 1 line on it. Here's a T and another A. Now we have more stacked letters, except these are different thicknesses, so that means they're different letters. So we read the thin one first and then the thick one. There's 1, 2, 3 lines on the thin one, so that makes it an S. Then the thick one has no lines ending on it, because this thick one passes through it. So that's a T. Here's the T, here's the S. And then we have the I line going towards the middle. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 dots on the letter C. And this letter C is special. It was recently added. It's also correct to substitute letter C to an S or a K, depending on what sound it makes. This one I kind of liked having all 4 dots here making the curve, so I just kept it as the normal 4-dot C instead of swapping it to a K or an S. But yeah, normally you would spell circles, like C-A-R-C-L-E-S, like S-I-R-K-L-E-S, because the first S goes S, and the second S goes K. So this is kind of a more modern design. I figured I'd add the actual letter C, plus it has this new vowel hash rule. Yeah. So yeah, that's that design. I hope you like it. Bye.